I'm here with my son, 13-year-old Jake Callahan, and we're here to get back in balance. So, you ready, bud?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's do it.
Come on, let's go.
Hi, Dr. Laura.
Hi, how are you? Come on in.
Good.
The technique is called NUCCA, and it stands for National Upper Cervical Chiropractic Association. And so when you look at your spine from the side, like this is the cervical spine or your neck. And with NUCCA, we're focusing on this bone right here, the top one, and it's called the atlas. This bone right here. And if you look at this model, you can see how that bone is the only one in the entire spine held by muscles and ligaments, so it moves very easily. And what we have found with NUCCA is that if there's an accident to the spine, usually for the most part it goes all the way up to the head, and it can bring the atlas bone out of place, and when it happens it tilts like this. And then first I'm going to feel your neck. Relax your arms down, there, and relax your head forward. Good. So that's a little bit tender, right, on the right side?
Yeah, you can see him wincing. Ooh.
And now, so tell me, Jake, for you on a scale of 0 to 3, 0 being no pain and 3 being a lot of pain, how does it feel?
Like 2.5.
Okay. And this is the anatometer, and this is what we're going to be using to measure your posture and finding out when you're in alignment versus when you're out of alignment. So if you look at the spine right here, this point where the neck and the upper back meets, we call that the fixed point. And so the fixed point should be straight when your spine is in balance. When your head and your neck are out of balance, they bring your fixed point or your upper back to either the right side or the left side. And when that happens, like I said, one shoulder is going to be higher than the other, usually. And because the muscles are connected from the head to the shoulder to the lower back, one hip is going to be higher than the other, which is why the leg is short. And usually you're going to be carrying more weight on one side of the body than the other. So on the anatometer, we're going to be able to measure your weight differential from right to left and your fixed point. Okay? Look straight ahead. So we can see here the left shoulder about 1/4 of an inch higher than the right, about 1/2 of an inch higher than the right. You can feel that, right?
Yeah.
And then on the weight difference, you have significantly more weight on the left side of the body than the right. With NUCCA, the patient is laying on their side in a neutral position, and the correction to the spine is made to this bone, and we use that bone as a domino effect to move the entire spine.
Interesting.
And the patient is always on their side, so there's no twisting of it. So that feels much better. Now I'm gonna have you.
Does it feel?
Doesn't hurt at all.
What?
Yeah, that feels much better.
So now, on a number, what was your scale?
Yeah, on
1 to
a
5?
scale from 0 to 3.
0.
Good. Go up. Turn around, face me. Look forward. Okay, so let's go see on the anatometer. Come with me.
Okay, check it out. Really, it feels different.
So you went from a 6 3/4 of leaning this way to a 3 1/2 leaning this way.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good for the first time. And now
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and adjust you more. So the black lines is where the head and the neck should be at. The red lines is where the head and the atlas is misaligned. And then when we press show my NUCCA correction, you can see what's happening when I'm putting in the force that you're barely feeling behind your ear.
Hi, I'm here with Dr. Laura and my son Jake.
Hi.
And we are here for Jake's 2-week follow-up appointment, and Jake seems to be holding his alignment. Dr. Laura, how many visits do your patients tend to need to come in order to hold their alignment?
So I will say, to answer that question, that it depends on their age, the generation that there has been in the spine of the patient, the trauma and the history of that particular patient. But on average, on an adult, it might take 4 to 6 spinal corrections before it stabilizes. On someone younger, it might take 2 to 3 corrections before they stabilize. And babies usually may take 1 or 2 corrections before they stabilize.
Okay, so you mentioned babies. Obviously you treat adults and children. You had mentioned to me that you have patients as young as 2 weeks old.
Yes.
So what would a parent observe in their child that may warrant a visit to see you? What type of behaviors?
So it's usually the mom that have noticed that the baby seems uncomfortable. As a mom, you always have this gut feeling when there's something that could be wrong, and they typically tend to see that the baby is not sleeping well, or is uncomfortable when they're sleeping. They're crying too often. Maybe they're not eating well. They are having too many ear infections or sickness that a baby with a good immune system shouldn't have.
Okay. All right. Well, if you think a NUCCA practitioner could help optimize your health, then look for one in your area. And obviously, if you're in Austin, then come see Dr. Laura at Back and Balance. Know thyself, heal thyself, love thyself.